Hey, how do you bring a product to market? You want the real deal? Watch this video. All right, everybody, Stephen Key here, and today I have a very special guest, and we're going to talk about something that I don't think we've talked a lot about. But before we get there, Enrico, thank you for coming on InventRight TV. How are you today?
I'm good, and thank you so much for the invite to your show.
Well, no, thank you. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with all the things that you do, especially your
Thank you.
product line's pretty extensive. But before we get into that, how did you get involved, or tell us a little bit about you before you started your business?
So yes, I am from Puerto Rico. Originally, I started in the automotive industry in the working for the Honda distributors in Puerto Rico, the Honda vehicles distributors in Puerto Rico. I became a purchase agent for them, and I was doing some purchasing through American Honda and for the brands of Acura, and at that time, Sterling was part of Honda too. Those vehicles don't exist anymore. But I was pretty much doing purchasing for them. In 1998, I decided to come to the States, to Florida. I started working at a dealership called Raymond Honda, which is still on business as of today. And I started in the parts department. I was doing sales, and at that time they wanted to introduce aftermarket parts. They had a very nice boutique, and they wanted to introduce aftermarket parts for people that wanted to hook up their cars and stuff like that. And I was doing some research and started getting vendors on board. And after that, I decided at some point they kind of were hesitant to keep continue that, and I saw that there was a potential for that type of business. And at that time, I decided to go on my own. I started a retail store called Honda Tech, and we were selling retail parts in Miami and stuff like that. And things didn't go well. I had a partner, and it's usually, things with partners, sometimes they don't go the way that you want to. We split it, and I started working for a company that used to be called Aerospeed. Aerospeed, they were a very big wholesaler of, again, automotive accessories and parts. And I started as sales and went through the ropes. Then I became a buyer.
Okay.
So when I became a buyer, I made all these connections with suppliers, vendors overseas. And at some point, the owner, he decided to move into a different route, and he pretty much said, "Well, I mean, we're not dealing anymore with any of these vendors and all these people." So pretty much, I found myself, okay, then it's time for me to move on, and I decided again into opening another business venture. When I decided to go on my own, I started buying parts from different vendors, retailing. I had a shop. We installed the stuff on our place, and out of the sudden, all these vendors overseas that used to be the vendors at this company, they reach out to me and they tell me, "Hey, listen, we don't get any more business because you're not there anymore, and what I mean, what can we do?" And at that time, I told them, "Hey, listen, I can't afford to buy from you guys. I mean, you guys move container loads, all that stuff. I started this business just getting into credit card debt and just very small operation. I cannot afford to import products, and
Okay.
I didn't even have a brand at that time. So one of the vendors that I consider my vendor as of today, my mentor as of today, he reached out and told me, "Hey, listen, I know you're good at this. You certainly know what you're buying. You certainly know the market. You certainly know what can sell
Okay.
because I develop a lot of products while working there." So he said, let's make a few products. I'll send them over. I'll give you some term. Let's see how it goes. Not a lot of money. And actually, before that happened, one of the vendors that I used to deal in that company, we had a couple of purchase orders open, and the product was manufactured. But the company that I used to work before, they say, "Hey, we don't want this anymore." Even that they had an authorized purchase order for it, they said that they didn't want it, that I did order that without their authorization. They just wanted to get out of bringing product. So this company, that was actually I skipped that part. That company was a Chinese manufacturer. They they were very hesitant to to give me the stuff to sell because of course I need to pay first. They don't know me. I told them, look, listen, I know I can sell the product. I cannot pay for it right now. I'm more than happy to pay as I sell it. And well, they took the risk, and it was everything worked out. And I mean, I sold all the product because, of course, the this company, nobody was buying it. So we started selling some product, and after that came the guy that I was mentioning, my vendor. So he made a few products for me. At that time, it was oil caps, just small billet oil caps, aftermarket oil caps. The vehicles, they come with plastic oil caps.
Hmm.
So we made aluminum billet style, and we put different emblems on top of them, like to make it attractive for consumer. And we came out with a bunch of ideas, and with that we started our relationship. We already have a relationship, but not me as an owner, just simply as a buyer. And from that, well, it's where I am today. We started, and with time, we kept developing products and doing more and more and more product. But at all of this time that we were developing products, we noticed a trend. Every product that I came up with, eventually it was going to be copied
Oh,
by somebody else. That
okay.
was the trend. I already had probably Chinese manufacturers or other people just looking at what I list, and within 90 days, the product came up on eBay, because that was my main platform for sales. And this happened through many years. So my vendor, he said, well, what if we do products limited quantities, and after this batch sales, we come out with a different design. But that's not that easy, because you need to create a new part number to supersede the other one, and keep moving on. It was a lot of work. And once you do a listing, it's a mission to go back to the listing and start changing. Okay, we're doing now version 2. We modified the product. Okay, so yeah. So that's how I learned, pretty much, that at some point I needed to own some sort of intellectual property, and to be able to protect my
Okay,
inventions.
okay.
Yeah.
Before we get there, that's really interesting. Your strategy about keep innovating. That's very interesting. Okay, so what year did you start your company?
I started my company uh, in the line of business that I'm today. I started in 2004.
Okay, and the name of your company is VMS. Why VMS? What does that stand for?
So so the company name is ESR Performance Corp, and
Oh,
under that's our company, where we, our operations company, and then we own the trademarks of BMS Racing.
okay,
We own True Spike Lock Nut, and I own several other trademarks too,
okay,
that we own as well. Yeah.
okay. You've got a lot of SKUs. How many products do you have there? There's a lot, isn't there?
We have about, give it or take, we have close to 13,000. The
Wait, wait,
the
wait,
and
wait,
the
wait, wait.
reason
Wait, stop. Say that number again.
13,000.
Wow, that's a lot.
Well, and it's been something that, I will say that we learned the hard way, because yeah, it's a lot of number, overwhelming for a lot of companies that they've
Okay,
been wanting to do business with us. We still do business with some large companies, but they only buy just a certain amount of SKUs, because
okay.
it's overwhelming. And again, I mean, I can talk about how overwhelming it got to.
Okay, so Wow. So you've been doing it early 2000s,
Uh-huh.
13,000 products in a warehouse or someplace.
Yep.
This is pretty big. I mean,
Yes.
your product line is pretty extensive. I looked at it. In fact, we're going to show it on the on the screen here of all the different products that you have. So you must like cars too, right? I mean, are you a car guy?
I'm a car guy.
Or,
I'm a car guy, but I consider now a modern car guy that don't want to deal with projects and don't want to need all anything that I have acquired in recent years. It needs
okay.
to be turnkey and it needs to be working perfectly. I don't want to do oil changes. I don't want to deal with leaks. I don't want to deal with restoration, any of that. And mostly because I don't have the time. I mean, running my business, it takes a lot and yeah, I don't. I
How many hours?
I'm a car guy, but
Okay.
huh?
How many hours a week do you work?
uh, I will say I will say 60 hours a week,
Okay.
more or less.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what time do you start in the morning?
So my routine is pretty much I wake up every day around 8 a.m. in the morning, get dressed, go to the office, and stay there. I don't take lunch. It's just all the way 8 to 4, 5 or 6 p.m.
Okay.
And then on weekends, you need to actually supervise how the online business is going because online business never stops. So you always get, I try to answer questions from customers, and on top of that I run my social media 100%.
Okay.
I have tried to delegate this to somebody else, but it's pretty much impossible for me to do so. So I
Okay.
have to handle all of that. So it never stopped because during the weekend I have to deal with social media as well.
No.
Yeah. And even holidays. Yeah.
So how do you determine to bring a new product on to add to your SKUs? How do you determine, hey, I'm going to bring this project on? How do you determine that? Is it a gut feeling,
So
or is someone telling
uh
you they want this, or how do you determine what to do, Enrique?
now these days, because we have a product line, and we now these days it's a lot has come by suggestion because
Okay.
there's customer that, okay, since you guys make this, why you guys don't make that, or
Okay.
since you already make this, can you make this and can you make that? So I'll say that right now is that's the process, but uh before this, I always has been on the look for niches in the markets.
Okay.
So one of those niches was in the lock nut business, and we noticed that uh, all lock nuts are the same. There's a lock nut, and it's only just a little bolt that you pretty much screw in and put a socket, and that's it. And then they came out the trend about the spike lock nuts. So the spike lock nuts was okay. Somebody made this little lock nut. They put a spike tip on it. Okay, we put it on the car. Okay, it looks neat. Okay, but then we noticed that a lot of these products, when you install them on different wheels on different vehicles, they really don't look okay. They are, it's not a one fits all
Okay.
product because the lock nuts, sometimes they're too long, too short, the spike is too little, the spike is too big, the spike sometimes is fell through in the wheel because of the hole of the wheel, offsets vary, wheel designs vary. So we came up with this idea, and let me go back. Somebody that invented the spike Lagna had a patent on it, and we were like, oh wow, this product is patented. So how can we go around this product on our own? And we started doing a little bit of what it's called now this day reverse engineering
Hmm.
on the whole process, and we came out with our own product that doesn't infringe in anyone's patents or intellectual property, and it was something very unique that we thought that it had very potential. We prepared some samples, we installed them on some cars, we run a couple of tests to make sure that the product, it definitely going to work. And uh and then when we decided to do that, we started applying for patents and trademark protection
Okay.
after we already decided that we were going to
Let,
follow this line.
yeah, let's talk a little bit about that because you have quite a bit of intellectual property, right? I mean, you have a whole page. How many patents do you have?
We have close to this time, give it or take, we have, uh, I think we have close to 60 patents at this time. Yeah,
Wow.
and I will say most are design patents, and the rest are, I mean, I will say maybe 5%, maybe 5-10% are utility
Utility.
patents. Yeah.
So why are design patents important to you? Why'd you go that?
So
Okay.
okay, so design patents are very important. Uh, what what I first learned about this is I didn't know much about it. I was like, why should I put a patent? I mean, right now, for example, eBay doesn't enforce patent infringement.
Okay.
There was a big case that was taken to the Supreme Court, and the buyer loses case. It was somebody that bought something to, I think it was something to trap bees, and he noticed his product was copy and whatever. He sued eBay. It went all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court ruled in favor of eBay. Uh, and it was very discouraging because, okay, you have intellectual property, nobody's going to force it. eBay has had its run of lawsuits with
Okay.
famous brands like Tiffany and all this stuff. And but we decided, okay, we're still going to go for it because we thought that, okay, patents will discourage other competitors to go after. They can copy your product, but they say, okay, we're going to copy the product, but we cannot wholesale the product. We cannot, we can probably sell it retail, and that's about it. So,
So you limit your competition from copying you.
it limit our competition. And even, we have had, when we first introduced this product, we went all out at SEMA 2015, I remember. And it was something crazy because all these Chinese companies, they came like little ants with their cameras to take pictures. We were like telling them, "Hey, you need to go, get away, don't wait." And they kept taking pictures and everything. And at that point, I mean, and at this point, a lot of this product was patent pending. We didn't even have,
Okay.
you know. So we were like, "Holy shit," and we were like it was, I mean, it was crazy. We hit catalogs. We didn't want to let anybody. But you know what? That was one of the tests that we went to. My supplier overseas, in Taiwan. By the way, this product was all made in Taiwan. He said, "Well, you know, all these Chinese companies, they want to, you know, they are all for the easy stuff. They want to copy this fast. They want to make a buck or two or whatever. But in in the process of me making this product, we run through a lot of issues, manufacturing, minimum quantity to make the product. We had to open molds. We had to do a lot of stuff. So even those Chinese companies, even if they want to do, they have to go through all this process as well, and then take the risk that whoever they sell this product to, it can might be might have a legal issue. So yeah, after SEMA, it
Okay.
happened. A couple of companies we saw, they copy the product. The funny thing is about it is that and this, I believe, it was a great help. They copy what became for us slow moving products. So they thought that, okay, this product is gonna
Okay.
be, because they copied the stuff that it was very rare, that no one has ever made. But it turns out that these products that were very costly to make because we made small
Okay.
quantities, and they were not very popular in our product line. And still today they're not very popular. So that disencouraged them, and I guess that after that they never copy anything again because I guess it was a flop for them. And for example, we invented a crown shaped lock nut. It had the shape of a crown, and that product, it was very very expensive to make because of the tridimensional design of an actual crown and made out of CNC. It was very complicated product to make and very costly to make. So but they saw that product. They say, "Oh, this is great." So they copy that product, and I don't even see it anymore in those Chinese websites anymore. So I guess they give up on a lot of that stuff. Yeah.
All right. So who do you work with? Where are you located now? You're located in Florida? Where?
I'm located in Florida,
Okay.
Miami, Florida. We are this area is called Medley. It's I will say, if anyone familiar with Miami, we are maybe 10 or 15 minutes away from the
Okay.
Miami International Airport. Yeah,
All right.
we
So
have a warehouse.
who's helped you protect all that stuff? Who do you use?
Uh, I use Kevin from Quick Patents.
How'd you find him?
Uh, Well, it's funny. I found him because this competitor that I was talking to you about, the spike lock nut, he patented the lock nut, and when I saw who did the patent information, it was Kevin. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go to this guy too. And I believe I explained to him that this guy had a patent and I was doing something else. So he ran a check for me on what we wanted to do, and it turned out that, yeah, I mean, it was definitely good to go. But yeah, that was the way that I found. And I used to have a lawyer that used to do patents for me, but he was very complicated. He was not a patent lawyer, he was a trademark lawyer. So it's a big difference because they don't do the same kind of words. So, and I think that he was trying to get a third party to do my patent. So it was kind of complicated. I was very frustrated with him. One of the patents, it got canceled because he didn't follow up through, and it was bad. So then I contact Kevin. He made it fairly easy to do everything for me. Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
he's
got the machine rolling after he got me into doing the patent. It was a very easy process with him, not a lot of stuff, and I had a lot of support from my vendor, which created CAD designs, 3D images, and that makes it so much easier to do too. Yeah.
okay. Very good. Wow. So where can people buy your stuff? Because you've got a great
Uh,
website. Do they go directly to your website or they find it someplace else? What do you recommend people
yeah.
how to find you?
We sell direct to public. Our
Okay.
our website is actually vmsracing.com.
Okay.
Uh, that's what I was talking about you is about our True Spike brand, which is all together in the website. And we originally started at BMS Racing, and that's why the company we still call BMS Racing. But BMS Racing sold another complete line of products
Okay.
for racing and performance. But that website is linked with our True Spike Locknut line, and yeah, I mean, we sell direct, and we also have retailers that
Okay.
that carry our products as well. Yeah.
Okay. I have one last question.
Mhm.
Given your experience in this industry prior to starting your company, how important was that?
Uh, Again, I mean, I I learned I learned the hard way this,
Okay.
you know, and but when you start a company, it's very hard to really accomplish some of these things because uh it's not really cheap, and you want to invest in, in my when I first started, I invested in just buy inventory that I can sell and buy more inventory, and that was my mentality at that time. But both things, they go together, but it's very very hard, even if you're financially able to do so, it's still hard because I have to split my attention into many things. Like, for example, I needed to split my attention in sales. I need to split my attention in marketing. I need to split my attention in legal. I need to split my attention in employees. And I'm a very small company. I mean, we have 10 employees total, and you know everybody has their own task, but all these things that I was talking to you, I handled them by myself. So it's very hard. And, and at the same time, a small business, they cannot afford a marketing guru to do their stuff. I wish I could get a guy that is all day posting my stuff. It's very hard to deal with the social media influencers too. I have given a lot of product that I give it to this guy, has 1 million followers. I never heard from him back again. So
Okay.
it's that. I mean, we have done a lot of famous people that we expect more for them, but they will just do so much, based on what you deal with them. So
Okay.
so yeah, I mean
It takes a lot of.
that's my thoughts on this. It takes a lot of work. Yeah.
If there's one thing that keeps you up at night, what would that be?
There's what?
If there was one thing that would keep you up at night, what would that be?
Uh you know, it's probably gonna be sales. That's my main, that's what keeps me up at night because the intellectual property, it's there, everything is on its place, but sometimes it worries me because I will say when I go to sleep at night, I say, okay, why this is not selling? And I start, sometimes I've been, it has happened to me at 1 a.m. in the morning. I said, why this is not selling? So I started Googling the product. I said, probably somebody copied and is undercutting me or something.
Okay.
And that's what I think. So that's what keep me up at night. But, a lot of times I said, man, nobody's selling this product. Why it's not selling? So I will say what keeps me at night is sales. Yeah.
Enrique, thank you so much for coming on InventRight TV. Very
Thank you.
interesting business. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the invitation.
All right.
Hey, how's your product performing? If you're ready to increase your sales and expand your distribution by using other people's money, InventRight can help. We will connect you with major companies that already have the resources to take your product nationwide. So go to inventRight.com, click on Contact Us. We'd like to hear more about your product so we can let you know how we can help you. This is our Gateway program, so make sure to ask about Gateway when you reach out.